Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Max.
And this is Movie Nostalgia, where we give you an honest review of the movies we've meddled with so mischievously over at Maybe Movies.
And on this episode, we will be looking at the filling in this movie sandwich, Beavis and Butthead Do America. This is the 1996 animated movie written and directed by Mike Judge, starring Mike Judge, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Robert Stack, also featuring, in either a smaller role or uncredited, Greg Kinnear.
Oh!
Mr. Amazing from The Mystery Men.
Yes, of course.
As Bork. The Dream America tour bus driver was Richard Linklater, director of Dazed and Confused and School of Rock.
Say, man, you got a joint?
And also the one of the ex-roadies for Motley Crue.
Of course.
Was David Letterman.
There were more names in there than I knew.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
So this came out at the end of out in December 1996 and went on to become the second highest grossing animated movie of 1996, only beaten by The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Ah, of course.
Ironically enough, both films featuring the voice talents of Demi Moore.
Oh, really? Is things I didn't know.
I think it had one of the highest opening weekends or something that wasn't beaten for an animated film until 2009.
You know, that doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me at all.
Well, no, I know. I remember when this came out and when they were talking about it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go and see it when it came out. I was a bit po-faced about it. I was a bit like, oh, well, no, because I'd enjoyed the cartoon so much. Mm-hmm. And I was in that period, for me, it was like, no, it doesn't need a big screen transfer. So I didn't bother watching it.
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, and especially because the TV show had such memories for me because we never had MTV, but I was living in France around 92, 93.
All right.
And one of the bars that I used to go and drink in, they'd always have MTV Europon. And so and it was one of the things that was always on in English.
Yes, of course.
So when we'd be playing pool, that would be on in the background and I could sit and watch it and absorb it.
And you noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously with everything else of having moved to a foreign country, not really knowing the language and all that kind of thing, all those little snippets of English that I could get my hands on.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, whatever it amounted to.
Yeah, this was again one of the ones that I bought when I was living in West Sussex. And I used to go to the local video store, sales store, not rental store. And they do offers where it would be on VHS. So it was one for like a £5 or... No, it was one for a tenner or three for 20 quid or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, I know exactly the sort of thing you're talking about.
And this was one of the ones I was like, maybe I should give it a look. And I was staying in staff accommodation at the time, so I went home, put myself in a very relaxed state. We'll just say that.
Uh-huh.
Puff, puff, give! Puff, puff, give!
And about halfway through, somebody came and knocked on my door and said, "What's all this laughing?" "Nothing. Just come in. You need to see this."
Just sit down and watch.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah. And that was my first experience of this fantastic film.
Mine, a little different. I was dead centre of this experience. We did have MTV from 1992 onwards, and Beavis and Butthead were kind of, this is going to sound a bit weird, part of the soundtrack of the 90s. I remember so many days when we had MTV on the background, we had Beavis and Butthead playing, but we weren't watching it, we were just listening. It was a part of the soundtrack of the 90s for us. I remember when they announced the film and I thought, oh my goodness, is that going to work? This is a TV show that's based around 15 minutes of music video and 3 minutes of commentary. Mm-hmm. How are they going to make a 90-minute, 2-hour video out of this? I don't know. Turns out they did quite well. I did go to see this at the cinema with my friends because we were all intrigued and wanted to see it. And I was pleasantly surprised all the way through because of the way that it's not just emblematic of the show without repeating it,
Mm-hmm.
but also because it embodies the anarchy of the show without resorting to the tropes they'd built over the last 2 or 3 years of TV.
Yeah, none of it.
Everything in the movie is tightly knit, woven together. All of the background characters come back around at some point. Everybody has a backstory neatly tied in a bow.
Yeah, as you said earlier when we were watching it, everything pays off.
Everything pays off, yeah. Everything that's referenced at the beginning gets paid off at the end, and if it isn't, it's paid off in the middle, and you just missed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's curious because when I was doing a little bit of looking up for this, so when Geffen Pictures got the rights to make the film, they were initially dead set on doing it as live action.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And
no!
And they were touting, I think they never had any other choice other than David Spade for Beavis. And they were looking at either Chris Farley or Adam Sandler as Butthead. And Mike Judge was dead set against it. He said, no, that's kind of sacrilegious. And also, from a purely financial point of view, it's going to be so much cheaper to make it as an animated film than it is to make it as a live action. And the rumour that I had, so again, take this with a pinch of salt, I don't know how true it is, the decision of whether it was going to be live action or an animated film was decided with a coin toss.
Oh, you are shitting me. Sorry, folks, excuse my language. You are shitting me, aren't you?
That's the piece of trivia that I read. As I said, I don't know how true it is. Xadrum is more than just curious content on YouTube. We're also a small publishing house with books covering a range of genres from 1940s pulp adventure to children's novels and even a touch of the macabre for those who like their literature on the dark side. Our titles are available in both paperback and ebook formats. Ebooks are available on Amazon, but physical copies can only be bought exclusively through our website at xadrum.com. Jeff's got enough cash as it is, so why not help us little guys grow and thrive? Links can be found in our banner and in the description to all of our videos, and we look forward to helping you indulge your itch for escapism.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I mean, so many things that I have to say about that. I mean, missing the point. Even though Chris Farley and all of these guys were in their early 20s at that point in time, the characters were like 13, 14. I think maybe 15.
Well, they kind of suggested they're 15 in here because
the
guys say we went to that town 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still again the thing of
just no, it would never have worked.
Well, I don't know. Don't forget though. I mean, Steve McQueen was in his 30s in The Blob.
I don't care. That's not a reasonable comparison. I'm sorry.
If that is true, the coin toss went the right way.
Indeed, it did.
And we got the movie that we did. It was made for a budget of 12 million, and took
12, only 12.
Yeah, and took. See, I could only find domestic figures for it, and that was 63.1 million at the box office.
But that's already 5 times their budget.
Exactly.
And that's before the international figures. And of course, we're part of those international figures because we went to see it.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I'm sorry, but in the current age of bloated budgets, 12 million for an animated movie.
No, that's cheaper than they made Godzilla -1 for. That was 15 million. So. But yes, so do you want to do the synopsis for this, or?
Oh God! Oh God! I don't know if anybody should do the synopsis for this. So, for those in the know, these are the continuing adventures of 2 young gentlemen by the name of Beavis and Butthead, a couple of teenagers who love nothing more than heavy metal music, MTV videos, and moshing. This is their first endeavour into a full-length feature, and it is quite an interesting one. It begins when the titular duo find out that their favourite TV, in fact their only TV, has been stolen, and they go on, well, a journey to try and recover that TV.
Which turns into an odyssey.
An odyssey of absolute adventure and pure comedy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say any more in case you've never seen it. Go watch it. It's mental.
Yeah, it does. It does everything you'd expect from these characters. It feeds into that I was going to say dude bro kind of humour of the mid-90s.
Anarchic comedy is the word I would use.
Yes, that's a better expression.
Yes.
It was very much, again, it was treated favourably, even by the critics. They all really loved it. It's usually compared to another film that would have been out around the same time, Wayne's World.
Yes, officer, is there something wrong?
Have you seen this boy?
You know, on what it has to say, how they approach and address youth culture in the 90s in America.
Oh yeah. It was a new take on things.
Yeah. Apparently one of the few people I did find out wasn't too happy about being involved in the film was Robert Stack. He, at one point apparently, had his lawyers petition to have him removed from any of the marketing for it.
Really?
Because he felt a bit, he felt a bit
denigrated.
Yeah, I think he just felt a bit embarrassed about being involved. But apparently, because it would have been about 7 years before his death, he did eventually come around to appreciate the movie for what it is.
Well, I was going to say, because people loved him for that.
I know.
You know, that was one of the premier elements of the story, was Stack's character and the way he drove things forward in his inimitable way.
I want you to give this scumbag a cavity search. I'm talking Roto-Rooter.
Also, another thing I found out about him, which I didn't know, obviously, again, most people people older than us will probably know him as playing Elliot Ness in the late 50s, early 60s TV version of The Untouchables.
Of course. I know about the reference from when I was a kid, but I never saw it myself.
No. But apparently, he also did the voice for Ultra Magnus in the Transformers TV movie. Or the Transformers the movie.
Springer, you and RC transform Autobot City.
He shouldn't have been so prissy about it, surely.
Exactly. Especially when that always confused me, because by that point, he would have been like in his 60s. And yet Ultra Magnus was always set up as being like the replacement, like the incoming guy to replace Optimus Prime, certainly in the comics. Sorry, tangent. Sorry, complete tangent.
Yeah, complete tangent. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. Back to the main show.
You know, it's just kind of gone from strength to strength. They had talked about a sequel, but at the time, Mike Judge was pretty burnt out because he was still, you know, they did like 7 seasons working pretty much constantly of Beavis and Butthead. And then this... And they talked about doing a sequel in 1999, and Mike Judge went, no, I need a break.
You do know there has been a sequel?
There has now.
Yes, now.
Yes.
Yes, in the last couple of years.
I haven't seen Beavis and Butthead do the universe.
Do Space. I'm sure it was Do Space, wasn't it?
I thought it was Do the Universe.
Oh, it could be. Ignore me, folks. I talk rubbish sometimes.
Somebody will put us right. To my shame, I have to say I had a similar kind of feeling. It's like, it's been so long. I don't know if or how those characters and that humour, how is it going to work in the 2020s? So I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to give it a watch, but you do have to wonder, has it been filtered?
Mm-hmm.
For the modern era.
Yeah.
And that is something that I do worry about. Because this was the pure, anarchic, new era attitude of the early to mid 1990s splattered on the screen. This is its most base element, the lowest common denominator. But it was a part of that sense of freedom,
yes,
that came from the new era that we became adults in, and as a part of that, it's a very valuable artifact, at least to me.
It is to me as well. Yeah, definitely. You know, that is definitely part of that zeitgeist. And as I say, how do you recreate that in a completely new age, essentially, to an audience who don't have the history with the show and with these characters and what they embody? I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe we should have a look at it. And
I'd love to see it. I have to admit, I'm curious, but like Max, I am skeptical.
Mm-hmm. But this one, though, it is up there. I'd say it is one of my favourite all-time animated films. There's a couple of films, if I need like my comedy go-to. Mm-hmm. This is the one that I come to every now and again because it's like a gem. There's another one that I always go to if I just need to cheer myself up, which is Ace Ventura, the first Ace Ventura. I can just go back and watch that over and over again.
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance.
That's the bottle of wine at the end of work. This is the one I say for Sunday best.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's just gone from strength to strength with me. Not surprisingly.
Oh, yeah, well...
all of them.
Yeah. all of the thumbs. A surprisingly good slice of 1990s cultural life.
Yes. Yeah.
Go check it out. If you're at all curious about the 90s, this is a place to start.
Oh, I'm sure there was another thing as well, one of the bits of trivia that I found out, which is hilarious.
Oh no, what?
I had to write it down.
Oh, good lord.
So, you know the bit when they go into the church?
Yes.
So apparently, as they go into the church, there's there's a dirge or something going on, and you can't quite make it out.
Uh-huh.
There's a chant.
Yes.
What they're actually saying in the chant is scrotum agitato, ignoramus, genitalius largus, hemorrhoidus burnum all day long.
And there you have it, folks. The heart of the story.
We are terribly sorry. We have to go. We're late. We're late for a very important date.
Oh no. Oh no, where's my watch?
I haven't got it. It must be with White Rabbit. We'll see you next time.
As always, guys, TTFN.